Welcome to the world of science fiction. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss new stories. Enjoy the listening. The Crash-Landed Guardian. Dr. Sarah Chen stood at the observation window of the Horizon Research Station, watching aurora lights dance across the Alaskan sky. The facility's isolation made it perfect for studying atmospheric phenomena, but tonight something else caught her attention, a streak of purple fire cutting through the darkness. "Marcus, are you seeing this?" she called to her research partner. Dr. Marcus Rodriguez looked up from his console, adjusting his glasses. "Meteor? Wrong color though." The object wasn't burning up, it was decelerating. Sarah grabbed her cold weather gear. "Get the emergency vehicle ready." "That's no meteor." The purple flame carved a graceful arc before disappearing behind the trees several miles from the station. Sarah and Marcus followed its trajectory in their rugged snow vehicle, fighting through the growing blizzard. They found the impact site easily enough, a perfect circle of melted snow, steam rising into the frigid air. In the center lay a figure in iridescent armor that seemed to shift colors like oil on water. "Careful," Marcus warned as Sarah approached. The figure stirred, armor retracting like liquid metal to reveal distinctly feminine features, but definitely not human. Her skin had a subtle purple sheen, marked with swirling patterns that glowed faintly. Four pupils in each golden eye focused on Sarah. The alien woman tried to stand but stumbled. Sarah caught her instinctively. "Easy there. You're safe." "Safe?" The alien echoed, her voice carrying harmonic undertones. "The Devourers must warn." She collapsed in Sarah's arms. "Help me get her to the vehicle," Sarah called to Marcus. "And let's keep this between us for now." Back at the station's medical bay, their visitor remained unconscious, while Sarah and Marcus ran every non-invasive scan they could think of. The results were fascinating. Her cellular structure seemed to be in constant flux, more energy than matter. "Look at these readings," Marcus murmured. "She's not just generating energy, she's converting matter to energy, and back again at will. The implications for physics alone." "Focus on keeping her stable," Sarah reminded him. "We don't know if she's dangerous." As if on cue, their patient's eyes snapped open. In one fluid motion, she was on her feet, armor flowing back over her skin. "Where am I? Who are you?" "I'm Dr. Sarah Chen. This is Dr. Marcus Rodriguez. We found you after your arrival. You're at a research station on Earth." The alien relaxed slightly. "Earth? Then I may not be too late." Her armor receded again. "I am Lyra, guardian of the Seventh Seal. And your world is in grave danger." Sarah exchanged looks with Marcus. "What kind of danger?" "The Devourers." Lyra's patterns pulsed with anxiety. "They consume worlds, break down all matter into energy to feed their endless hunger. I was pursuing them when they damaged my vessel." "These Devourers?" Marcus asked. "They're coming here?" Lyra nodded grimly. "They seek what you would call zero-point energy, the fundamental force of reality itself. Earth has vast reservoirs of it, though you haven't learned to access them yet." She stumbled slightly, catching herself on a bed rail. Sarah steadied her. "You're still weak. Whatever you have to warn us about, it can wait until you've recovered." "No time," Lyra insisted. "The Devourers will." She suddenly doubled over, her skin blazing with purple light. Equipment sparked and shorted out around them. "What's happening?" Marcus backed away as monitors exploded. "My containment." Lyra gasped. "Damaged in the crash. Can't control." Sarah grabbed a portable electromagnetic dampener from the lab supplies. "Marcus, help me calibrate this. Maybe we can help her stabilize." As they worked to contain Lyra's energy discharge, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning of something much bigger. Humanity's first contact with alien life wasn't going to be a diplomatic exchange, it was going to be a fight for survival. And their only ally was a wounded guardian who could barely control her own power. Powers unleashed. 2 days after Lyra's crash landing, alarms blared through the Horizon Research Station. Dr. Sarah Chen raced down the corridor, following the trail of sparking lights and melted equipment. Behind her, Marcus shouted into his radio. Full lockdown. Keep everyone clear of Section C. They found Lyra in one of the testing chambers, hovering several feet off the ground. Purple energy cascaded from her body in waves, each pulse sending another surge through the station's systems. The sight was both terrifying and beautiful. I'm sorry, Lyra called out, her voice distorted by power. The containment, it's failing completely. Sarah stepped forward, despite Marcus trying to hold her back. Focus on my voice, Lyra. Remember the breathing exercises we practiced. It hurts, Lyra gasped. Her skin had become almost transparent, pure energy visible beneath. Everything hurts. I know. Sarah moved closer, ignoring the static electricity making her hair stand on end. But you're stronger than the pain. You're a guardian, remember? Lyra's golden eyes found Sarah's. Guardian, yes. We protect. We contain. We. Another surge of energy knocked Sarah off her feet. Marcus helped her up. The dampeners aren't working anymore. If we can't contain this, we'll find another way, Sarah insisted. She'd spent the last 2 days learning about Lyra's people, ancient beings who had evolved beyond physical form, choosing to remain in bodies of matter only through intense concentration. The crash had damaged Lyra's ability to maintain that concentration. Lyra. Sarah called out. Stop fighting it. You're trying to force yourself back into a shape that's damaged. Let go. If I let go, I'll lose myself completely, Lyra warned. Become pure energy. No, you won't. Sarah stepped closer, even as the energy burn stung her skin. Because I'll be here to remind you who you are. Trust me. For a moment, nothing happened. Then Lyra's physical form began to dissolve, purple light expanding to fill the chamber. Sarah stood her ground as the energy washed over her, bringing memories that weren't her own. Countless worlds protected. Battles against the entropy-feeding devourers. The lonely duty of a guardian, forever separate from those they watched over. Stay with me, Sarah whispered. Find your center. Gradually, the energy began to coalesce again. Lyra's form took shape, but different now. Her armor and skin had merged into a crystalline structure that pulsed with inner light. She settled to the ground, solid once more. How did you know? Lyra asked, examining her new form with wonder. Human intuition, Sarah smiled. Sometimes the only way forward is to stop fighting yourself. Marcus approached cautiously with a scanner. These readings are incredible. You're maintaining perfect matter-energy equilibrium now. The damage forced me to adapt, Lyra explained. Though I couldn't have done it without. She stopped suddenly, head tilted as if listening. No. They're here already. The Devourers? Sarah felt her heart sink. A scout ship, entering the atmosphere. Lyra's crystalline form shifted, becoming more angular, defensive. They track energy signatures. They must have detected my discharge. How long do we have? Hours at most. I need to leave, draw them away from Earth. No. Sarah's voice was firm. You're not fully recovered, and we're not letting you face them alone. This isn't your fight, Lyra protested. They're threatening our world, Marcus spoke up. That makes it our fight. Sarah nodded. Besides, I think we just proved that humans and guardians work better together. Lyra studied them both, her golden eyes glowing brighter. You don't understand what you're offering. The Devourers don't take prisoners. They don't negotiate. Neither do we when our home is threatened, Sarah replied. Now, what resources do you need? For the first time since her crash, Lyra smiled, a shimmer of light across her crystalline features. You humans are either incredibly brave or incredibly foolish. We prefer to think of it as incredibly stubborn, Marcus grinned. So, how do we fight beings that eat energy? As they began planning their defense, Sarah caught Lyra watching her with an unreadable expression. What is it? In all my centuries as a guardian, I never imagined I would find allies like this. Perhaps that's why I was sent here. Not just to warn Earth, but to learn from it. Save the philosophy for after we save the world, Sarah said. Right now, we have work to do. Outside, aurora lights danced across the sky, nature's own matter-energy light show. Soon those lights would be joined by the flames of battle. But for the first time since the Devourers began their hunt across the cosmos, they would face not just a guardian, but humanity as well. And humanity, as Lyra was learning, had a habit of defying impossible odds. The hunt begins. The Horizon Research Station transformed into a makeshift fortress within hours. Sarah watched as Marcus repurposed their atmospheric monitoring equipment into early warning systems, guided by Lyra's knowledge of Devourer technology. They'll come in low, Lyra explained, her crystalline form casting rainbow reflections across the lab walls. Their ships absorb energy from the air itself, leaving a trail of cold in their wake. Like this? Marcus pointed to a thermal reading. A patch of Arctic air was moving against the wind, temperature dropping rapidly in its path. They're starting. Lyra's form rippled with anxiety. Testing Earth's defenses before the main assault. Sarah studied the station's blueprints. The geothermal vents beneath us, you said the Devourers feed on energy. Could we use that? A trap? Lyra moved closer, her presence making the hair on Sarah's arms stand up. Yes, yes. If we can channel enough power through the vents, make them too tempting to resist. Then overload the energy source when they try to feed, Marcus finished. Like giving them indigestion. More like food poisoning, Sarah smiled grimly. We'll need to modify the station's power core. They worked through the night, converting the research station's clean energy system into a weapon. Other staff members had been evacuated under the pretense of equipment malfunction, leaving only Sarah, Marcus, and their alien ally. There's something I need to tell you, Lyra said as they finished the modifications. About why the Devourers really came here. Sarah looked up from her work. What do you mean? Earth isn't just rich in zero-point energy. It's special. Your species, humans, you have a natural resonance with the fundamental forces. That's why you could help me stabilize. Why you can even stand near me in this form. Are you saying humans have some kind of energy manipulation ability? Marcus asked. Potential for it. Raw, untapped, but growing. The Devourers don't just want Earth's energy. They want to stop humanity from ever reaching that potential. Sarah absorbed this. Why didn't you tell us earlier? Would you have believed me? Lyra's form shifted, becoming more human-like, though still crystalline. Most species take millennia to develop even basic energy awareness. But humans, you adapt so quickly. Learn so fast. It terrifies them. That's why you were really sent here, Marcus realized. Not just to warn us, but to assess us. My mission was to observe only. Then the Devourers attacked my ship, and you. Lyra turned to Sarah. You showed me that sometimes the old rules need to be broken. Their conversation was interrupted by alarms. The thermal anomaly was approaching rapidly, bringing with it a storm of unnatural darkness. Multiple contacts, Marcus called from his station. They're not even trying to hide anymore. Through the observation window, Sarah saw them. Ships like tears in reality, sucking light and heat from the air around them. The aurora lights dimmed as they passed. Ready the trap, she ordered. Lyra, how long can you hold them off? Long enough. Lyra's form crystallized further, becoming almost weapon-like. But Sarah, if this works, it will draw the attention of others besides the Devourers. My people will come. More guardians? Yes. And they may not approve of how much I've shared with you. Sarah placed a hand on Lyra's crystalline shoulder, feeling the thrum of energy beneath. Then we'll deal with them too. Together. You really aren't afraid of anything, are you? Lyra's voice held wonder. Oh, I'm terrified, Sarah admitted. But that's never stopped humans before. The first explosion rocked the station as the Devourers began their attack. Sarah watched Lyra launch herself into the air, a streak of purple light against the darkness. Below, Marcus activated their trap, channeling geothermal energy in carefully controlled bursts. Come on, Sarah whispered, both to herself and to their alien ally fighting above. Show them why you don't mess with Earth. The battle for humanity's future had begun. And unknown to the Devourers, they faced something they'd never encountered before, a guardian fighting alongside humans who refused to give up their world without a fight. In the sky above the research station, purple light clashed with consuming darkness. And somewhere in between, the next chapter of human evolution was about to be written. Humanity's stand. The battle raged across the Arctic sky, purple light against void-black ships. Sarah watched from the station's control room as Lyra darted between Devourer vessels, her crystalline form leaving trails of energy that the enemies couldn't resist consuming. She's leading them right to us, Marcus reported, monitoring energy readings. The trap is ready. The plan was risky: channel the station's geothermal power through specially modified conduits, creating an irresistible energy source for the Devourers. When they tried to feed, they'd find the energy tainted with Lyra's unique frequency, designed to disrupt their consumption ability. But something was wrong. The Devourer ships weren't taking the bait. They're learning, Lyra's voice came through their comms, strained with effort. They sense it's too easy. A massive explosion rocked the station. Emergency lights flashed as systems began failing. They're targeting the power core. Marcus shouted over the alarms. Trying to trigger a meltdown. Sarah's mind raced. If the core exploded, it would take out half the mountain range, exactly what the Devourers wanted. All that energy, released at once. New plan, she announced, running toward the core chamber. Marcus, reroute all power to the containment field. Lyra, I need you down here. Little busy. Lyra called back, barely dodging a beam of pure darkness that ate through the station's outer wall. Trust me. Moments later, Lyra phased through the ceiling, her crystalline form crackling with combat energy. Whatever you're planning, make it quick. They're preparing their main weapon. Sarah was already pulling apart the core's control panel. You said humans have natural energy resonance, right? That we could potentially manipulate it? Theoretically, but it would take years of. Lyra stopped, realizing what Sarah intended. No. Absolutely not. The amount of power required would kill you. Not with you helping. Sarah grabbed power cables, ignoring the sparks. We'll channel it together. You've been holding back, trying to maintain control. Time to let go completely. Marcus burst in. Sarah, this is insane. Your body can't handle that kind of energy. But my mind can. She looked at Lyra. You've been in my thoughts, remember? When you were pure energy. You know I can do this. Another explosion, closer. The Devourers were breaking through. Lyra's crystalline form shifted anxiously. Even if it works, the Guardians will never allow. Then we'd better make it count. Sarah held out her hands. Are you with me? A moment of silence, broken only by the sound of battle. Then Lyra's form began to dissolve into pure energy. Marcus, Sarah called out. Whatever happens, keep the containment field up. Sarah. He started. That's an order, Doctor. As Marcus retreated to the control station, Lyra's energy surrounded Sarah like a purple aurora. The sensation was indescribable. Like being unmade and remade with every heartbeat. Focus on my presence, Lyra's voice echoed in her mind. Let the energy flow through you, not into you. Sarah felt her consciousness expanding, connecting with the power coursing through the station's veins. Through Lyra's energy, she could sense the Devourers above, vast, hungry voids in the fabric of reality. Now, she thought slash spoke slash felt. Together, they pulled. All the station's power, all the geothermal energy beneath, even the subtle force of the aurora lights, everything flowed through Sarah, amplified by her natural human resonance and shaped by Lyra's ancient knowledge. The Devourers sensed the feast and couldn't resist. Their ships descended, darkness opening wide to consume. At the last possible moment, Sarah and Lyra released their hold. The energy exploded outward, not as raw power, but as something new, a hybrid force of human potential and guardian mastery. The void ship screamed. Dark matter turned to light, consuming became creating, entropy reversed itself in ways that defied physics. Where the Devourers had been, new stars briefly flickered into existence, before fading away. Sarah felt herself falling, but never hit the ground. Lyra's energy cradled her, slowly returning to crystalline form with Sarah held safely inside. Did it work? She managed to ask. See for yourself. Through the broken station walls, the sky was clear. No darkness, no void ships. Just the aurora lights, dancing stronger than ever. The other guardians will have felt that, Lyra said softly. They'll come to investigate. Let them. Sarah stood shakily, supported by both Lyra and Marcus. We just proved humans and guardians are stronger together than apart. They'll have to accept that. Accept it? Lyra's crystalline form vibrated with what might have been laughter. Sarah, you just helped channel enough power to create temporary stars. I think accept is an understatement. As emergency teams began arriving at the station, Sarah watched the northern lights shimmer with new colors, touches of purple mixing with the natural green and blue. A reminder that Earth's destiny now lay not just with humanity, but with their newfound allies among the stars. So, she asked Lyra, what other impossible things should we try? The Guardian's response was lost in the sound of helicopters, but her crystalline form glowed with unmistakable anticipation. The real adventure, it seemed, was just beginning. Legacy of Two Worlds. 3 months after the battle at Horizon Station, Sarah stood before a very different kind of audience. The underground chamber beneath the rebuilt facility hummed with energy, both from the advanced technology surrounding them and from its occupants. 7 crystalline beings, each glowing with different colored light, hovered in a semicircle before her. The Guardian Council had finally arrived. You understand the gravity of what you're proposing? The Central Guardian, a being of pure white light, addressed Sarah. In all our history, we have never directly interfered with developing species. With respect, Sarah replied, gesturing to Lyra who stood beside her in her now familiar purple crystalline form, that policy almost cost you Earth. And humanity. Marcus stepped forward, displaying holographic data. Our research confirms what Lyra discovered. Humans don't just have potential for energy manipulation, we're naturally evolved to interact with fundamental forces. The Devourers saw it. Why can't you? The council shifted, colors rippling with what Sarah had learned to recognize as concern. The very fact that you advanced so quickly proves the danger, another guardian argued. In mere months, you've begun manifesting abilities that should take millennia to develop. Because we had help, Sarah countered. She raised her hand, letting purple energy dance across her fingers, a trick Lyra had taught her. Imagine what we could accomplish together, properly trained and guided. You ask us to change policies that have preserved cosmic balance for eons, the White Guardian said. I'm asking you to evolve, Sarah corrected. Just like humanity is evolving. Just like Lyra evolved when she chose to trust us. Lyra moved forward, her crystalline form resonating with Sarah's energy. Honorable Council, when I crashed on Earth, I was damaged, dying. Traditional Guardian protocols would have had me self-destruct rather than risk contaminating a developing world. Instead, humans showed me another way. They didn't just save me, they helped me become something new. To demonstrate, Lyra's form shifted, merging partly with Sarah's energy field. Together, they created patterns of light that made even the council members pulse with surprise. This is what the Devourers feared, Lyra continued. Not just human potential, but human innovation. Their ability to see possibilities where we see only rules. And what of the dangers? A guardian of deep blue light questioned. If humans abuse these abilities, then we'll face those challenges together, Marcus interrupted. He'd been quiet until now, focused on his readings. Look at these neural patterns. When Sarah and Lyra work together, they're not just combining powers, they're creating new forms of energy manipulation. Clean energy. Healing energy. Things neither species could achieve alone. Sarah felt Lyra's encouragement through their shared energy field. Time for the final push. You can either help guide humanity's development, Sarah told the council, or watch us stumble forward on our own. Because we won't stop. It's not in our nature. We'll keep reaching for the stars, keep pushing boundaries. The only question is whether we do it as allies or potential rivals. Silence filled the chamber. The Guardians communed in frequencies beyond human perception, their lights pulsing in complex patterns. Finally, the White Guardian spoke. You challenge thousands of years of tradition with a few months of evidence. Actually, Sarah smiled, I'm challenging it with this. She nodded to Marcus, who activated the chamber's main display. Images filled the air, children in hospitals being healed by combined human guardian energy techniques. Clean power plants running on hybrid technology. Early warning systems that could detect threats across dimensions. This is what we've achieved in just one facility, with one guardian ally, Sarah explained. Imagine what we could do with proper cooperation. The Devourers attacked because they saw a future where humans and guardians worked together. They feared it. Maybe it's time we embraced it instead. The council's lights dimmed thoughtfully. You propose not just an alliance, the White Guardian observed, but a complete reformation of Guardian society. I propose survival, Sarah corrected. For both our species. The universe is changing. Shouldn't we change with it? After what felt like eternity, the White Guardian descended to hover before Sarah. You are either incredibly wise or incredibly foolish, Dr. Chen. That's humanity in a nutshell, she grinned. So, do we have a deal? The chamber filled with light as the council members joined their energies in agreement. We will establish a new protocol, the White Guardian announced. A partnership between Guardians and humanity. Though the path ahead will not be easy. The best ones never are, Sarah replied, feeling Lyra's joy radiating through their connection. Later, watching the aurora lights dance above the station, now streaked with colors from their resident Guardian allies, Sarah reflected on how much had changed. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe, not through traditional space travel, but through the evolution of their own potential. Having second thoughts? Lyra asked, her crystalline form shimmering beside Sarah. About changing the course of two civilizations? Not at all. Sarah let energy play between her fingers. Though I do have one question. Oh? That first night, when you crashed, you said you wanted to be my pet to learn about humanity. Did you plan all this from the beginning? Lyra's form rippled with what might have been embarrassment. Actually, I was delirious from the crash and thought you were a cosmic deity. The pet thing just slipped out. Sarah laughed, the sound echoing across the Arctic night. Above them, the stars seemed brighter somehow, as if the universe itself was watching to see what this new alliance would bring. The legacy of two worlds was just beginning. And somewhere, in the vast darkness between the stars, other species were about to learn why you should never underestimate humanity, especially humanity with powerful friends. Ready for our next impossible task? Sarah asked. Lyra's response was to merge their energy fields, creating a display of light that made the aurora pale in comparison. Sometimes, the best answers didn't need words at all.